Now, what just funny bull did 7 this hell talk? Whatever. 4 minutes. 2 more. So I recently had an opportunity to go see Inland Empire at a screening, beautiful 4K restoration. And it was so fun to just let yourself get completely immersed in a David Lynch film and let it wash over you. And I realized that Inland Empire is 3 hours long, and in the scheme of things, that's just a taste. If you want the full experience, you have to go with Twin Peaks: The Return. 18 episodes of a show that David Lynch wrote with Mark Frost, directed himself. It is the pure, uncut, unfiltered Lynch. Now, I first saw The Return when it first came out in 2017, have not rewatched it since, and I thought to myself, well, I have an entire day to myself. Why not go ahead and just watch it all in one go? Also, I'm very vain, so why not record myself going through this process? 18 episodes. Each episode is a little under an hour. If I start it now, very early, I could get through this in one day. Maybe. I might go crazy doing this. Might.
My log has a message for you.
So yeah, that's a show that says it's Twin Peaks. The balls on David Lynch to give us one quick scene in Twin Peaks with a guy that you don't even realize is Dr. Jacoby until he takes off one set of sunglasses to reveal his 3D glasses underneath, and then skip to New York City. Twin Peaks was entirely in Twin Peaks, and then occasionally we jump to Canada to go to a brothel, as you do. Here's a scene of the giant Cooper. No real explanation given there. Here's Dr. Jacoby, and now we're going to go to New York City for a thinly veiled metaphor about television. And then jumping around to South Dakota to see all these other characters we've never met before. And you think, okay, is this seriously a return to Twin Peaks? Because we're not in Twin Peaks. I appreciate the times that we do see the old characters, that they're people we know from the old show, but it just strikes me that they're allowed to age as you really would. Revival TV shows or nostalgia TV shows, there's the temptation to do everything you can to make the aged actors look as young as possible. That's not done here, and honestly, I like that. It feels very real. There's so much realism to it, but just a little bit off. Uncanny reality, if you will. And that works and sets the mood. And in this first episode, yeah, we really have no idea what's going on.
Please tell me what's going on.
I've always heard that's what's really rewarding about rewatching Twin Peaks: The Return, is that because you've already seen it, you know what's going to happen, or you know what's not going to happen, and what's not going to happen for several episodes. Cooper never doing anything is the best part of the show. Anyone who says differently is wrong.
The stars turn, and the time presents itself.
This episode, we get a lot more fantasy elements or supernatural elements. We got a little bit in the first episode with Cooper and the giant/fireman and the thing in the box. Now we're spending a lot of time in the Red Room. We're getting Laura Palmer talking.
Hello?
Doppelganger stuff. Really a lot of plot. That's why I noticed while watching this, I wanted to get up and get food. I felt like these scenes, they're notoriously slow, but you miss something if you get up. There might be a detail you miss if you leave for a few minutes. It's really strange. We see Shelley, grown up, with some friends. Also, she has a daughter now.
My daughter is with the wrong guy.
When the hell did that happen? I don't know. In comes James, and James is always cool, as Shelley tells us.
James is still cool. He's always been cool.
I never like to speculate on when David Lynch is writing in response to attitudes towards the old show, but it does feel like the line, James was always cool, is kind of a response to how much people did not like how James was going in the second season. Well, James's story was the worst part of season 2. I mean, not everything can be high art. The show likes to throw some numbers out at you. In the first episode, the giant tells Cooper 430, and then in this episode, the brain, the evolution of the arm says 253 time and time again. And you think, oh, numbers must be important here. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, wait a minute. The first episode, Tracy, she had 7 written on her coffee cups. And then in this episode, the Cooper goes to see Jennifer Jason Leigh in Motel Room 7. Those are just common numbers. I don't think the 7s really mean anything. We'll find out if 430 or 253 mean anything. Maybe. Who knows? Or what the hell Two Birds with One Stone is, who Richard and Linda are. I vaguely remember that, but let's plow ahead. Episode 3. What?
Call for help.
Call for help.
It's not about the bunny.
I mean, it can be about the bunny a little bit, right? When I was rewatching the pilot episode of the original Twin Peaks a little ways back, it got to the moment where Cooper says,
Diane, I'm holding in my hand a small box of chocolate bunnies.
I flipped out. I thought, oh my God, the bunnies! And it's such a brief moment in the original thing, but it felt like a callback to a callback of itself. There's layers. Watching this, I realized anytime they throw numbers at you, I said previously that they throw a lot of numbers at you. It's not meant to be that complicated. 235, it meant 235, 253, 253. Yes, okay. Let me back up here. I'm already going, oh boy, I'm already losing it a little bit. Oh, this was a horrible idea. The switch is meant to have, like, Cooper leaving the Black Lodge and Mr. C hopefully going back into it happens at 2:53. Yeah. And then, of course, it doesn't happen because Dougie Jones goes in and Cooper comes out and is stunned. And it's this episode you think, wow, Cooper's in a bit of a daze. I wonder when he's going to come out of that. Strap in. But what's great about this episode is that we finally get to see Gordon Cole and Albert again. 2 of my favorite characters from the original show, and they immediately do not disappoint. David Lynch doing his thing.
What the hell?
Miguel Ferreira doing his thing.
I've been dying to see Mount Rushmore.
It's good you want to hurry.
It's great. Also, it occurs to me that binging this in some ways is the way to go. We have this brief scene where we see Dr. Jacoby painting those shovels. I think if you were watching this show once a week or every few days, you would probably lose track of that because we haven't seen Jacoby since the very start of episode 1 getting the shovels. You would probably forget about that had you been watching this week after week, or every other week, or once a week. This coffee is not strong enough. Oh, God.
Man, brings back some memories.
This will be worth it because of episodes like this, because this episode has so many damn amazing scenes. Duchovny's back. David Duchovny returns to play a trans woman who we last saw 25 years ago. Just still blows my mind that Denise from Twin Peaks was a trans-affirming character from the early 90s. It's cool, everybody. The straight white guy likes it. The old woman at the casino who calls Cooper Mr. Jackpot.
Mr. Jackpots! Mr. Jackpots!
And is just so happy and thankful for him. The scenes with Ethan Suplee showing up out of nowhere. Michael Cera showing up out of nowhere. So many amazing scenes in this thing. The random use of Take 5. I don't know why it's there, but it's there. I appreciate it. We have Cooper spitting out coffee. It's a good thing. Thank God for that. Also now in these episodes, I think this started last episode, I just didn't notice, but now we're getting Laura's face at the very start of the episode as we slowly pan over the trees around Twin Peaks. It's haunting as it should be. Speaking of haunting, we have this scene towards the end of the episode with Gordon Cole, Albert meeting Mr. C. This scene at the end where Gordon turns his hearing aid all the way up. To see Gordon for the first time not constantly yelling.
There's room in this Federal Bureau of Investigation for more than one beautiful woman.
Oh, Gordon.
That David Lynch thing he's been doing the entire show, for the first time ever, to just hear him say,
Albert, your reaction in prison to Cooper.
any thoughts? So when the scene at the end starts, when they're outside the prison, you think, why is it so blue? Everything is really blue. That doesn't make... The world wasn't blue before. Why now? And as they chat, they say,
Blue Rose.
It doesn't get any bluer.
because it's very blue. Blue. It seriously doesn't get any more complex than that. There's no great mystery in a lot of things with David Lynch. It's more just a vibe. Don't think about it too hard. The scene is blue because we're going to get to Blue Rose. And they mention someone who they need to go see.
Do you still know where she lives?
I know where she drinks.
I'm pretty sure I remember where this is going, and goddamn, it's going to be great. That's not my cat.
I want you to take these case files home with you tonight.
Case files.
So many things keep happening in this as it progresses. Twin Peaks: The Return is just bouncing around from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. to South Dakota to Twin Peaks again to Argentina at one point here. Random people that we seem to meet here. We meet Stevie, Becky's boyfriend. Who's Becky? Well, Becky is Shelley's daughter, I think. Then this is the first time we're back at the double R, and we finally meet Norma again and see how she's doing. And you think to yourself, my God, are all the women of the double R just doomed to date assholes? In the original show, Norma was married to that asshole guy who got out of prison, who, was a hitman. Shelley was married to Leo, who was just the colossal asshole. And now Shelley's daughter, Becky, is dating this Stevie asshole. We do see that David Lynch is letting Amanda Seyfried play to her strengths, which is to stare wide-eyed at nothing in particular and smile really big. And it's hypnotic and creepy, and yeah, it's good work there. Dr. Jacoby's turn in this is very strange to me. Not necessarily him painting golden shovels. That makes sense. But the fact that he's now an internet personality.
The same vast global corporate conspiracy. Different day.
And that whole bit has the most random, abrupt introduction of an older character.
That toaster waffle, those muffins, that frozen children's...
We just cut to Nadine. Yeah, Nadine's still around. I'm pretty sure she's not a high school student anymore or super strong. I forget how all that wrapped up in the old show.
Seeing that sandbag hit you,
A few moments later.
How old are you?
35, you moron!
Dougie / Cooper. I mean, it's Cooper, but you just want to call him Dougie because everyone calls him Dougie, and he's not acting like Cooper from the old show. So it's just some guy named Dougie who's walking around and living this blessed life, even though he's a complete imbecile and cannot function on his own. Everyone around him just helps him along. And also he has magic powers, sort of. I love the low-key lighting effect in that boardroom scene that we have where Dougie out of nowhere declares that one of his colleagues is lying about something.
He's lying.
And it probably was just somebody off camera shined a green light in the guy's face. It's a little supernatural, but it's very simple, and I love low-key effects like that. And I both love and hate how stupid Dougie is, and it's just so sad at the very end of this episode when Dougie is just staring at a statue with nowhere else to go. Also, Ernie Hudson's there. When you see him, the shock of it being Ernie Hudson almost makes you not even notice the revelation that headless body that was found is the body of Major Briggs.
We got another database hit on prints for Major Garland Briggs.
Major Garland Briggs.
A character who we've heard reference to, but we have no idea what actually happened to him. Well, now we do know what happened to him. His head's been cut off, and yeah.
Good day. Good day. Good day.
Is undoubtedly a part 6. This is by far one of the most brutal moments. Just to make sure we understand that this new character, who is a drug dealer, is a bad guy, we show him running a child over with a truck. Hey! He's a pretty bad guy. And my God, the scene of this kid being run over is one of the most brutal things I think David Lynch has ever committed to film, which is saying something. Also, there's another instance of you need to binge this movie. You need to binge this 18-hour movie because you will forget things. We go back to Vegas and we have the guy who's in the office from the very beginning of the show in episode 1. We haven't seen him since, I don't think. All so that he can get out the assassination file for it to be delivered to a little person who will go on to do ultra violence on people with an ice pick. Welcome to a David Lynch film. Welcome to a David Lynch show that's an 18-hour David Lynch film. The thing I remember the most about watching the first time was just how badass Naomi Watts was getting to be, and this is the episode where she just defeats criminals with the power of her verbal assault.
What kind of world are we living in where people can behave like this, treat other people this way without any compassion?
It's Naomi Watts. She's bringing it. David Lynch knows how to let his actors shine when they need to. I said earlier, it's not about the numbers. Maybe it's about the numbers. Because 7 keeps coming up. 7 was on the coffee cups. 7 was on the hotel room. And 7, Lucky 7 Insurance is where Dougie / Cooper is working. And boy, Dougie spends some time with those folders that have a 7 on them, just fingering that 7.
You're making the numbers weird. Stop making the numbers weird.
What you do want is for Cooper to just wake the hell up. Even the one-armed man wants him to wake up. He speaks for all of us.
Wake up.
But again, there's a strength in rewatching this show, and that's the fact that I know we're a long way from Cooper waking up. I'm not going to hold my breath like I was when I first saw this show, thinking, okay, now he's going to wake up and the show can start. No, that's not how we're doing this. No, sir. These episodes are closing out with a band performing at the Roadhouse in Twin Peaks. And when I first saw the show, I thought, okay, are these actual bands? Because every band that performs here looks like they were cultivated in a petri dish and created for the sole purpose of being in a David Lynch movie. But no, they're all bands. David Lynch just has really good taste and access to independent bands that want to be in his show. Badass. I think that's great. I love that the Roadhouse has evolved into a place that showcases awesome indie bands that have different sounds. I want to go there. Why can't I go there? Maybe the Nine Inch Nails will perform sometime. We'll get there.
There's a body.
There's a body, all right.
Oh, fuck. Fun fact, when this episode was starting up, a plane flew over the house. I honestly couldn't tell for a second if it was part of the show or just real life. They're starting to blend together since we are 7 hours in, with only 11 more hours to go. Holy shit, why am I doing this? This episode does have one of the first bits of closure we've been waiting 25 years for. Namely, what happened to the pages that were torn out of Laura's diary that were discussed in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me? They're in a bathroom stall door.
I don't know. Leland came into the station several times. Once around that time, we brought him in for the questioning of the murder of Jacques Renault. Maybe he thought we were going to frisk him, and that's when he hit him.
How do I get the computer set up that the sheriff has where I can pull a lever and a screen pops up out of my desk? We are finally back to the story about the Major. We finally get back to South Dakota a few episodes away from that. Get there a little bit more. We've got some weird, the weird, creepy ghost people creeping around a little bit now. I'm sure we'll see more of those very soon. Ernie Hudson is back. I'm glad that he wasn't in just one scene. I like Ernie Hudson. Like to see him in more things. One of the great things, though, when I first saw this was the reveal. Yeah, we got Diane. And it's Laura Dern. And wow, she is just an asshole of mythic proportions.
You got any coffee?
No. I don't have any cigarettes either.
I really love the idea that this woman, whose basically her default setting is to look at you and say, fuck you.
Fuck you, Gordon. Fuck you too, Albert. What'd you say your name was again? Tammy. Fuck you, Tammy.
That's the woman Cooper was sending tapes to the whole time.
Diane, 11:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
Probably she was always getting these tapes, just going, fuck you, Cooper, and your fucking tapes. Laura Dern is just... God, she's given so many great moments. Again, David Lynch, he gives his actors great times to shine. And the scene where Diane is confronting, Mr. C in prison, and she is in this dark void as she's gazing in on him.
I knew it was going to be you.
It's all the things I love, that I love to come to see when I watch a David Lynch film. I said at the top, went to see Inland Empire recently.
Let's do it.
I did not even, after that movie, I didn't get enough of Laura Dern's face up close. So thank God we're back to that.
You know what I mean?
Good deal. I love the fact that we get to a point where Dougie is just now in his office. Dougie found his office somehow? I know someone had to guide him into his office, whatever. But after he's in his office, he's going home with his wife and has a fight scene. I love the Dougie, Dougie Coop, when he needs to, he's suddenly ready to go and, karate punch a guy off and be a superhero. And I never noticed this before. I feel like the episode briefly turns into a news story very quickly because suddenly there are a lot of shaky camera shots of people seemingly being interviewed. It looks like a news story. I can't quite tell. It's strange.
You're watching an 18-hour David Lynch film and just now think that it's strange.
Good to know that the Roadhouse is always going to be operated by someone from the Renault family. In this case, Jacques' twin brother, Jean-Michel Renault.
The Roadhouse. Jean-Michel. Roadhouse has been owned by the Renault family for 57 years.
So this was part 7. And if you know 2 things about Twin Peaks: The Return, is the fact that there is a scene of sweeping. You know about part 8. Here we go. I love that. I wish I had more words for this and for why I am always so amazed by this. You go to see David Lynch because David Lynch is unlike anything out there. There's so many things about this episode that will mess with you. It starts normal. We have Mr. C and his accomplice, some violence, creepy ghosts show up to do something to Mr. C. We're not too sure what quite yet. Cut to the Roadhouse, where we get my favorite out of context line of the entire show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Roadhouse is proud to welcome the 9-Inch Nails.
Now, up to this point, when we see bands in an episode, they're at the very end. We're not even 10 minutes into this episode, and here's the 9-Inch Nails giving us a full song. Where is this going? Mr. C wakes up. Flashback to July 16th, 1945. The birth of the atom bomb. The birth of the evil of the world of Twin Peaks. This episode adds so much to the lore of Twin Peaks. We are more or less getting the origins of Bob, as we'll later learn of Judy. There's so much to this that I wish I had better words for it. And maybe if I weren't having to record brief 5 minutes or a few minutes between each episode, I would take the time to elucidate a little bit more on everything that's so amazing about this, but no, we've got to move on.
Sorry that I don't have time to talk about the thing. I'm too busy talking about the thing.
I mean, everything here is very slow, and that's kind of the point. I noticed that there's a scene that really shows off that this show / 18-hour movie can do things that other things cannot. It can do awkward really well. You can have Gordon, Diane, and Tammy standing outside a building in silence and let the awkward tension just build and build and build. Because, well, David Lynch isn't too concerned about pacing. He just lets it happen. I came away with many different impressions, but one of the big ones was, holy hell, I didn't know Matthew Lillard could act like that.
Well, then watch SLC Punk, you uncultured swine.
I mean, I guess I knew he could act and he could be like that. I just didn't really know that he could get that whole manic thing he has going on and channel it so fiercely like he does in these episodes.
I don't know what is happening to me. Why can't you help me, please? Please. We were so happy together. We were gonna go to the Bahamas.
End of the episode. There are two young women at the Roadhouse. One of them has a rash.
Got some kind of wicked rash.
We've never seen them before. I will be thoroughly shocked if we ever see them again.
Laura is the one.
Okay. We are more than halfway through this thing now. 9 was halfway through, but let's celebrate being more than halfway through Twin Peaks: The Return. It's a great thing. More developments are happening. The show wants us to know this Richard guy, again, not a good dude.
Stay away, or I'll call the sheriff.
Come on, Grandma.
No, stop it.
I just want a couple of dollars.
Steals from his grandmother, who has some relationship to Benjamin Horne. I forgot if that was his wife or who that. I don't know who that is. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Maybe that is his grandson. It can make sense. It seems like Benjamin Horne would have a bad grandson. Sure, why not? Also, that guy that Becky dates, he's no good because he beats her and demands that she get a better paying job at the restaurant because he can't get a job. Dude sucks. I just hope something happens to this guy. We're finally into the part of the show where we get more of the Mitchum brothers, whatever, the casino guys and their showgirls, their showgirl attendants, and Candy, who's Candy.
Candy.
Yes, sir.
And is ridiculous, and I love everything that she does. Jerry Horne, he's still lost. I'm sure that'll come around. That'll connect to something.
I've been here before!
And finally, Albert has a love interest. The funny morgue woman, the funny corner. They fucking, we know they're gonna fuck. It's happening. They're both wry, bitter people, so they gotta be doing it. Fuck it, enough talk. Moving forward to part 11. I'm sure part 11, we all know what happens in part 11.
There's fire where you are going.
I'm just I'm Stockholmed into Dougie Coop at this point. I know he's gonna wake up eventually. At this point, I just say, nah, okay, fine. First round I saw this, I kept thinking, well, maybe this will do it. Maybe that will do it. No, I just know it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen for such a long time. Oh, it just keeps going on and on, doesn't it? I will go crazy. This is hour 11, 12. I've watched 11 episodes an hour. So yeah, 11 hours. We're mostly in Vegas, where things with the gangsters and the mobsters are just magically resolved because one has a dream and Dougie knows to buy a pie because the one-armed man tells him to come in and get a pie. A lot of boxing metaphors because the insurance boss was a boxer at some point or another.
Normally, I wouldn't put one of my agents into the ring with guys like this. Battling Bud always punched above his weight class. Nobody keeps Battling Bud on the ropes for long.
I figure that's what the poster above is off. What is? I doubt we'll even see him again. Oh, we'll see him again probably. Who the hell knows? I don't care. Point is,
Let's roll.
this is just my life now. I watch Twin Peaks. There was no before. There will be no after.
Buy the ticket, take the damn ride.
This episode answered a few other questions I had, like, is Rick Ben Horn's grandson? Apparently, yes.
Your grandson, Richard, was the one who ran over and killed that little boy.
We see Sarah Palmer again. Haven't seen Sarah Palmer since episodes ago. Still got that fucking ceiling fan going in her house. Why do you do that? She harasses kids at the grocery store.
And men are coming.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
I am trying to tell you.
I feel for the kids at the grocery store. I worked at a grocery store when I was a kid. People come in there. They want to, put all the weight of the world on your shoulders. It sucks. It sucks. I feel for the kids, is my point. David Lynch let so many strange things happen in this episode. He likes to take his time on a lot of things. I've said this before, and I enjoy it. What feels like a half-hour scene of a woman that Gordon Cole is hanging out with, leaving a room, just getting ready, putting her shoes on, putting her makeup on, getting ready, finishing some wine, heading out. Takes forever to do it. I kind of like it just because of everything that David Lynch is doing acting-wise, acting like a complete doofus and enjoying every minute of it.
It's a good one.
It's good. And then, hey, Audrey's... You remember Audrey from the show? From that Twin Peaks show from a long time ago? And this is the show that is the return of that show? You think we would return to characters from that show. And slowly but surely we have been. And finally, we return to Audrey. In the most bizarre fucking scene yet, we cut to Audrey just standing in a room, some study-looking thing, talking to this very shrimpy-looking man who is behind a desk, just wanting to do some office work.
Look at this paperwork I have, and I've got a deadline.
Audrey constantly complaining that she wants to go out and find Billy.
I want to find Billy same as you, but...
Or talk to Tina.
I gotta find Tina.
Talk about Paul.
Maybe I should have Paul come give you a visit.
Don't, Audrey. Don't be like this.
It's a whole scene where it's Audrey and Charlie, apparently her husband.
I told you, don't talk that way to your husband.
Because Audrey got married at some point, after the bank explosion, and she was in a coma for a little while, apparently. Maybe still is. I don't know. I begin to think to myself, okay, all this drama about people that I don't know, I haven't met yet, maybe don't really even care about. Is this how everyone felt with that whole stupid James subplot in season 2 of the original show, where James is just off interacting with characters who we never meet again? Maybe? I don't know. It's getting there. It's starting to. Yeah, 12 episodes in. I might be cracking. Just. We then go to the Roadhouse, where we meet some women we've never met before, who are all talking about characters we've never met before.
Where's Angela? She might be with Clark. I saw Clark and Mary together here. Isn't Trick under house arrest?
These episodes are just becoming episodes about things we don't know about and never see again. Bookended by bands performing, and there's kind of characters we know about. They're briefly there. Oh, God. It's a lot. 6 more episodes.
What story is that, Charlie?
13 hours. I've been at this 13 hours. If this were a job, I'd be earning time and a half an hour by now. So yeah, stuff happens in this episode. Mr. C is there again. He goes to Montana. There's arm wrestling. He punches a guy to death, shoots a guy, whatever. Dougie doesn't die because he's lucky. The Big Ed shows up, and there's talk about with Norma and a business partner about selling out. I don't know. I think there's a metaphor there.
Norma, you're a real artist, but love doesn't always turn a profit.
It doesn't matter. The point is that in this episode, at the very end, at the Roadhouse, James sings the fucking Just You and I song from the beginning of season 2. Except this time it doesn't suck. Or it's not weird. It makes sense. Like in the original show, it's him and Maddie and Donna singing it, and there's a backup percussion. Where is it coming from? That doesn't make any sense. But here, it all makes sense. James clearly he has two backup singers who they've rehearsed together. He's got a beatbox, so he has some percussion going in the background. It's for an audience instead of for no one. Like that original version was just James and the two girls in a room alone singing the song. It's like, who are they even? Are they singing it to each other, to the empty? Whatever. It works. And then silently, dismally, the credits run as Big Ed sits in his shop alone. I had a life before this.
Like the dreamer.
Oh, that makes sense. I am really hitting the point where this is just, it's too much. It's getting to be too much. I realize now the best way to digest this show is maybe 2 episodes at a time, maybe 3 if you can handle it, 4. But all of them is too much. It's getting to be too much. I'm going to make it, but I'm going to make it through too much. The things that I do appreciate still are the payoffs to 25 years of setup. Earlier episodes explain what the hell the Blue Rose was, which was introduced in Fire Walk with Me.
A blue rose?
Good. But I can't tell you about that.
Philip Jeffries points at Dale Cooper and says, "Who do you think that is?"
Who do you think this is there?
And now, in this episode, in the sequence of the Monica Bellucci dream sequence.
And while Jeffries was apparently there, he raised his arm and pointed at Cooper and asked me,
Who do you think that is there?
Damn!
I mean, that's put together. I love that. I love the pacing of that. I love the look of that. It's sequences like that make this all worth it and make it good to get through. Sequences like the police going into the mountains and Andy getting sucked up to meet the firemen. I didn't think that Andy would ever meet the firemen. I love, new characters getting sucked into the White Lodge, Black Lodge, whatever, into the alternate dimension is very fun, and I love to see how they react to that. And we just see Andy is a cool cat under pressure, and that's why he's a good cop. So I love moments that give Andy props instead of just constantly making him look like a complete doofus. Also, Chad got arrested. That was nice, man. Chad, he's a fucking Chad, man. Sarah Palmer has a magical face. We meet these young girls who are talking about Billy.
Have you seen Billy?
And Tina.
What's your mom's name? It's Tina.
So I guess it's Tina's daughter. And Billy is this all-important character that Audrey was trying to find. So I guess they're actual people. I still don't know. I'm so confused. 4 more, I think. 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 more.
Some fear. Some fear is letting go.
Okay, I'll step in here. See, when this footage was originally recorded, I had just read how Catherine Coulson, who played the log lady through all of Twin Peaks, died just 3 days after recording her scenes, from what I can only assume was hospice care. This was a huge bummer to me while recording these reactions. That's why I don't say anything, because I'm sad. Fix your hearts or die.
No knock. No doorbell.
This one left me, yeah. A lot was going on in this episode. Cooper was waking up.
Hi, Nolly.
He's saying his heartfelt goodbyes to his kind of adopted family, or family that adopted him in, or the family that thinks he's Dougie.
I have to go away for a while.
Cool. On his way back to Twin Peaks. Awesome. You know, Diane, she was revealed to be a tulpa.
I'm not me.
Pretty hardcore there. The whole thing about Jerry Horn being lost out in the woods finally pays off because he sees Cooper and Richard. Richard goes up to the coordinates that Cooper got. It turns out that was an attempt to assassinate Mr. C, not Cooper, Mr. C. Instead, Richard goes sparkly and disintegrates, and Cooper, Mr. C says, like,
"Goodbye, my son,"
which implies that Richard is the son of evil Cooper and Audrey. Okay, this gets weird. As in later on, Audrey, we see her and Charlie, her short husband, finally go to the Roadhouse. MC of the Roadhouse announces,
Ladies and gentlemen, Audrey's dance.
I don't get, why would anyone else know about Audrey's dance? And then a fight breaks out. Audrey wants to leave. She goes to her husband and says, "Get
me out of here."
And in some white space, she's staring in a mirror. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. Honestly, I think Audrey's in a coma. Which, if Richard, that asshole kid, is the son of Audrey and Cooper, that implies some horrific things if Audrey was in a coma when Richard was conceived. I do not know. Yeah, yes, you got me, David Lynch. Got me. 2 more episodes! So, this late in the game, you realize why Cooper couldn't wake up earlier in the show. Because if he did, it would be over. Because Cooper wakes up and 2 episodes in, basically all the problems are solved. I mean, all the problems that we thought we had. We take care of evil Cooper. We stop him from hurting more people. Lucy gets her ultra badass moment where she shoots Mr. C and takes care of that. So that's really cool. And Freddy gets to have his green glove punching match with the bob of ball energy and all that. And then it starts to get weird. You would think, yeah, it's been weird thus far, but then you realize, oh no, there's more weird to be done here. Cooper's face just like on the screen, and
we live inside a dream.
I don't even know. Yeah, here we are. And you are left wondering, okay, the episode's over, right? Evil guy is defeated. Bob is dead. And yet we still have about 20 minutes to go. So guess what Cooper can do? He can time travel, apparently, because of Philip Jeffries' teapot powers.
Please, be specific.
The date, February 23rd, 1989.
Sure, goes back to the time of Fire Walk with Me, February 23rd, 1989, and saves Laura. It's a brilliant moment when Laura screams at him.
What?
In Fire Walk with Me, Laura screams at absolutely nothing.
What's wrong? What?
This episode shows us that the thing that she was screaming at was time-traveling Dale. Nice addition. Slow clap on that one. Dale saves Laura. Well, stops Laura from going to meet with Leo, Jacques, and Ronette, which would lead to her inevitable death, and instead grabs her hand and says,
"We're going home."
Which makes me wonder, well, home's not a good place for Laura, man. I mean, home is where she's a drug-addicted teenager whose father rapes her on a nightly basis. It's not really a good thing, but in doing so, he erases the future where Laura's body is found. So Pete, he gets to go off and have himself a nice little day of fishing. It's nice. We see Josie, who hasn't been in the return. Really does beg the question, is Josie still a drawer knob? Yeah, I didn't forget about that. Josie became a drawer knob in season 2. The hell is that all about?
The dumbest part of that scene isn't even the drawer knob thing. It's the fact that Bob, laughing like an idiot, shows up and says, "Hey, Coop."
Coop, what happened to Josie?
So the embodiment of the evil that men do is on a nickname basis with Cooper. Okay, sure, that makes sense. The hell is that all about?
But then Laura disappears, so Dale is left somewhere, and the episode ends with a Roadhouse performance by an original Roadhouse singer who was in the original show. I got no more energy to go crazy or pontificate. We're at the tail end. Marathon is almost over. One more episode to go. Episode 18, even though the show is kind of done. What more do you need to do? One more episode to go. Let's sprint across, run through that finished tape, hold our arms high in the air and say, I did not understand one bit of that. Do it.
What's your name? What is your name?
What year is this? What year is this? Frankly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what year this is, because by God, we just got through the whole freaking show. 18 episodes, 18 hours of Twin Peaks, The Return. We did it. It made sense to me. I more or less can just report on my experience from the unique perspective of I am watching every episode of this throughout the entire day. And what a journey it's been. I gotta say, this last episode, it almost feels unnecessary in a strange way. Again, like I said, at the end of the last episode, it was done. We're good. We got the evil Cooper. You know, when was good Cooper's motivation ever travel back in time and change history? I don't know. That kind of came out of nowhere. So now in this episode, we have to have this strange Red Room experience. He comes out. Diane is there to greet him. They travel. We finally do get some reference to 430 that the fireman told us the very first episode.
Almost exactly 430 miles.
They change or they cross over.
Once we cross, it could all be different.
Have the most awkward sex scene of all time. Cooper wakes up. We get reference to Linda and Richard, which that's another thing that the fireman told us in the very first episode.
Dear Richard. Richard. Sorry, whatever it was we had together is over. Linda.
Everything is different now. Cooper's an asshole. Not like, Mr. C asshole. Just, there's no whimsy to Cooper anymore at all. It's kind of sad. He goes to find the person he thinks is Laura Palmer, but she says her name is Carrie Page.
What's your name?
Carrie Page.
Bud recognizes names, goes with him to Twin Peaks. She doesn't recognize anything. It's an unbelievably awkward car ride. Again, it's the kind of awkwardness that only comes with very long, silent scenes that David Lynch is fond of doing. So, great. They don't recognize the house. Laura doesn't recognize the house. The owners of the house are not Sarah Palmer. No one knows who Sarah Palmer is. They're confused. Coop's final line of the show.
What year is this?
Like, that's going to help. Harry Page hears a distant cry of, Laura. And screams that mighty, mighty scream. Blackout. Twin Peaks: The Return. So, how was watching this entire show in one go in one day? Not a good idea. I mean, The Return is a very unique show. I think if you only watched one episode a night, you would probably miss something. 2 episodes a night, 3 episodes maybe. The trick with the show is that because each storyline has to take up so much time, there are storylines that just don't appear for a few episodes. There are many times when we weren't seeing Mr. C. We hit an episode, come back to Mr. C, and I would think, oh, right, yeah, we haven't talked to him in a few episodes. Ben and Jerry Horn, they disappear for several episodes at a time. I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that either I missed or it's just not explained. Like, I don't think we ever found out who Billy was, the guy that Audrey was so obsessed with, or who Tina was, or any of that. There are people who make reference to Billy and Tina, but we never meet them. There are random characters who have scenes that don't connect to too much, but those are few and far between. I think overall, though, a lot of characters eventually have arcs that do end or combine with the main storyline, the main through line of Cooper waking up, stopping evil Cooper. So it's all very intricate. It's all great, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that I've seen this again. I would just say, if you're going to rewatch Twin Peaks: The Return, space it out a few nights. Space it out several nights, in fact. Maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Not in the whole day. That'll wear you down. I'll close it as David Lynch always closes his. In that, going ahead, we can look forward to some blue skies and golden sunshine all along the way. Everyone, have a great day.
At the time that I was recording these, David Lynch was doing daily weather updates from his home in Los Angeles, because only David Lynch could give you daily weather updates of a city where the weather never freaking changes, and still make it interesting, because he's David Lynch. So, to David Lynch, I say, thank you, sir, for everything. To the rest of you, I say, like and subscribe, you bastards. God damn it, that's hot.